People, this
Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all honor and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles and bishops of Great Millstone. And peace and salutations to the elect, starting with the 144,000 governing body of the nation of Yasha Allah, and the men, the women, the children, the true believers in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. May he have mercy on you in these last days. It's your brother Ibn Wa Allah coming back at you with another quick lesson. Lord willing, be edifying. Same old stuff. I'm going to play this video. And before I actually decided to do a lesson on this, because I thought this might have been AI generated because it's such a grotesque story, I went and actually, looked it up and found an article on it, which I will post, Lord willing, in the description so you could read for yourself. But this video I'm about to play proves we're the Israelites, and it proves that this so-called devil has no mercy on us, okay? And until we're delivered, you are not saved. He has a perpetual hatred for you. And he's going to do whatever he can, whenever he can, to try to destroy you. So you Negroes, you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native American that love your daddy Esau, and you want him to be saved, maybe this video that's about to play will shed some light on you. And keep in mind, this situation happened, I believe, is a year ago now, almost 2 years. Nevertheless, I didn't know about it until I saw it on TikTok. So if this is just now coming out, imagine how many Jakes is getting put to death by this devil. But it is a reason. I'm going to bring balance to this. You so-called Negro man, if you're not Negro man and Latino man, if you're not serving Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, this could be your fate as well. All right? The Lord is not playing. Okay? Salaki.
This man right here named Rasheem Carter was being chased in Mississippi by 3 truckloads of white man that was yelling racial slurs at him. So while this man was being chased, he ran to the police station in Taylorsville, Mississippi. He told them he was being chased. White man was yelling racial slurs at him. He said he was very scared. Can they please give him a ride? The police told Rasheem Carter they is not a taxi service. And then Rasheem Carter told them exactly where he was going. And then they said that's out of their jurisdiction. So Rasheem Carter left the police station when they refused to give him a ride. He was later seen that day on surveillance camera at a Family Dollar. He was looking very scared. And people, later on that same day, after he was seen at Family Dollars, he was caught on surveillance cameras running in the woods in Taylorsville, Mississippi. He did not have a shirt on. He was sweating. He was looking over his shoulders, and it looked like he had a stick in his hand for protection. People, this man was never seen alive again when he was running into the woods with no shirt on, with a stick in his hand. He was looking very scared, looking over his shoulder. His body was found 1 month later in the pieces. People, when I tell you Rasheem Carter's body was in pieces, his vertebrae and his spinal cord was in a different spot than his head. He was beheaded. He was missing his teeth. People, this man's body parts was scattered all over the woods. Investigators found 4 separate sets of his remains in the woods. Now, people, what I'm about to tell you next is going to be hard to hear, but whomever did this to Rasheem Carter, they took their time and cut his body up in the woods. People, they found Rasheem Carter private parts in his mouth. Yes, they found his private parts in his mouth. Now, people, get this. Law enforcement said it was no foul play. They said animals did that to this man's body. Now, people, let's just recap. This man was being chased by 3 truckloads of white men that was yelling racial slurs at him. He even called his mother to let her know exactly what was going on. He ran to the police station, asked them for a ride. They said they is not a taxi service. He then was seen at a Family Dollar on surveillance camera. And later that day, he was seen in the woods with no shirt, sweating, looking over his shoulder with a stick in his hand. And law enforcement is saying there was no foul play while his private parts was in his mouth. How can an animal do that? Now, people, who exactly was Rasheem Carter? Well, people, he was 25 years old. He graduated from college. He owned a seafood business. He was a professional welder. And people, far as we know, this man never been in trouble before. He never been to jail before. He doesn't have a criminal record. He doesn't have enemies. He's not in any gangs. People, the family is still looking for answers. Justice for Rasheem Carter. People, this man right here.
All right, so you heard, you know, and this is fair use. I'm not making money off your TikTok video or monetizing it, but the scriptures are going to be filtered through this, and it's such a horrible situation, but there's a lot to be said. And the first thing out the gate, Deuteronomy 28. All right, but before I do that, I got one precept I wanna find. Slaki. Because he said he was, far as he knew, he was innocent. All right? The Lord is just in everything. I want to throw that disclaimer out there. I'm speaking not from my heart neither. I'm speaking according to the Bible. All right? This is Job chapter 4 and verse 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? The Lord is trying to let you know ain't none of us innocent. And for whatever reason, this man suffered a horrendous death by who? The hands of his enemy. Who is his enemy? Read Psalms chapter 83. You'll see when you get down to the 5th verse. You know what? I didn't want to have to go there, but we must edify. This is Psalms 83. This is a breakdown of the Lord's enemy. I'm going to just get right to it. Psalms 83 and 5. For they have consulted together with one consent, all the nations. All right. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. I'm going to just stop right there. That's the so-called white man, whom the earth was given to. Right. Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? That's why this is mainstream news. So we understand nobody perishes being innocent. And we are in the hand of our enemy, the so-called white man. All right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenedest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power. And the voice of the Lord is who? This is Amos chapter 3. Get right to it. Verse 7. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city? Slacking. I'll read that part. Yeah, I should read this. Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it? So we know who done this to this Jake at the end of the day. But we also get the balance from who? To understand why this is happening. As the scripture is saying right here in Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 48. Where it says, I'm going to read that again, then go back to that. Therefore thou shalt serve thy enemy, which the Lord, 45, Salaki. Moreover, Deuteronomy 28 and 45, moreover, these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenedest not. You didn't take heed to the word, to the voice of the Lord thy power. That's the point I want to get. I'm going to read the rest. The voice of the Lord. Here's the voice of the Lord. Amos 3:6 again. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city and the Lord have not done it? Surely the Lord Yahweh, power, will do nothing but revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. And that's the point. The prophets have always been here from the beginning. And they're telling you, you got an enemy. And this is the type of shit he's going to be allowed to do to you in Jacob's trouble. Think about that. It says, Deuteronomy 28:45 again. Moreover, all these curses shall overcome thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments, his statutes, which he commanded thee. And they shall be a sign, Salaki, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Because thou servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness and gladness of the heart, for the abundance of all things, right? He wasn't serving the Lord. Okay? And we don't know if the Lord called him. But we don't know what he did in his past life. But we can still gain out of this the understanding of who your enemy is. It says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. If you serve your enemies, they can have their way with you. They can do whatever they want to do with you. You heard what he said. He went to the police station and the police department was in on it. They told him we're not a taxi cab. I thought the police was there to serve and protect. But not you so-called Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans. It says, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness. Wasn't he running around in the woods with no shirt on? With his life in his hand? And he didn't know to call on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. There's a prayer for that. And in want of all things. He was in want of all things, mainly his life, for protection. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. Now, of course, this is going into slavery and everything, but the scriptures don't lie. It's a sign still to show you an Israelite. And you need to be serving Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua with fear and trembling, because ain't nobody innocent. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, a swift as an eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. This is Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4. It says, I'll start at verse 2. I loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, Malachi 1 and 2. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob. And how do you know he loves you? Because he gives you law, statutes, and commandments. And he tells you, I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to chasten you if you don't. It says, I hated Esau. See, they know he hates them. And that by default, they hate you. You so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans. It says, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. This is why they do what they do. And the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. So although they're getting away with these things, there's a recompense coming for them. This is Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 4. The Lord have made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. This was a day of evil for this young man. And what is evil in the Hebrew? I always bring this out. It's Strong's 87451. Ra. It says bad, evil, giving pain, displeasing, worse than worse. This is the worst of the worst for this J. Unkind. The so-called white man is unkind. He's prophesied to be a nation of fierce people, to do wickedness. All right? In these last days. Wicked ethically. They're the border of wickedness. In general, a person of thoughts, they had their way with this J. You heard that he was torn to pieces. And then to put the total disrespect on him, they cut his rod off and put it in his mouth, with his teeth being taken out. Evil, distress, misery, injury, calamity. But at the end of the day, the Lord created them to do these things. That's why I'm saying this is a balanced lesson. It's to give you to know the terror of the Lord, but at the same time to know your enemy and how to avoid the terror of the Lord. This is Psalms chapter 17 and verse 13. He didn't know this prayer. Want to know why? This is why. This is Jeremiah 4:22. It says, for my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children. They have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. He didn't have that knowledge. Jeremiah, the scriptures clearly saying that this individual had no knowledge of who his enemy was, because he was running from the enemy to the enemy. What did they tell him? We're not a taxi service. And they sent him on his way. You think they didn't know what was finna happen to him? And the water Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for the protection over the brothers in Mississippi that's staying out there. This just brings more meaning of Romans 12:1. Giving your body as a living sacrifice. They out there proclaiming the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai in the area where this happened to this Jake. So now you can see if they wasn't doing that, this type of stuff could fall on them. By them, this is a testimony. By them going out there teaching his word and glorify the name Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right now he is protecting them brothers. And may the Lord continue to protect them always. All right? Every last one of them Mississippi brothers, man, in that whole area, the whole southern area, because this shit is finna increase. The Lord's about to have this devil do his will. This is Psalms chapter 7:13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him. Who? The so-called white man. Cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. This happened to this Jake for a reason. But it gives if you don't know the terror of the Lord, I'm telling you, don't want to play. The scriptures don't lie. But judgment is coming to them. This is Ezekiel chapter 35. And I'm going to read it in the NLT, verse 5. Your eternal hatred for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were helpless. This lines up. These scriptures are a perpetual identifier of who the people of the Most High is, or Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and who his enemies are, and what he will allow them to do to you if you are not in order, serving and worshiping him and his son in truth and sincerity. Ezekiel 35:5 again. Your eternal hatred for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were helpless, when I had already punished them for all their sins. You see? But again, if you haven't repented, you're still in sin. You're going to continue to go off, but now you have the blood of the Lamb to cover you so you can repent daily. And you don't want to be going into things that sins is punishable by death. He may have had one of them type of sins on him. What is really is called iniquity. Right? It says, verse 6, as surely as I live, that's the Lord, he lives forever, says the sovereign Lord. Since you show no distaste for blood, I will give you a bloodbath of your own. Your turn has come. Let's get into that bloodbath. This is Obadiah. Chapter 1. Sorry, this is only one chapter. Obadiah 1 and 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? Well, through videos like this, through filters, things like this, through the scriptures. All right? Ain't nothing going to be hid from what this devil has done. Ultimately, all is going to come out. How are his hidden things sought up? It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee, that they eat thy bread, Salaki, and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in him. Right. You can't trust this devil. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise man out of Edom and understanding out of Mount of Esau? That's giving, the Lord is letting you know he can't avoid judgment. All right. He is going to ultimately be destroyed. It says, and thy mighty man, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one in Mount Esau, I want you to be clear about what Mount Esau is. It's the people before it's a place. So it's talking about the so-called white man, specifically here in America, because that's where the blood is being shed, right? This the law on it anyway. Let me get that real quick. This is Numbers chapter 35 and 33. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. Did they not shed blood? And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So that means the law is you shed blood. Now you're gonna have to be judged in that same manner. So that's what the Lord is saying. Let me get one more. This is Genesis 9 and 6. It says, whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of the Most High made he man. So that's two precepts to back up what I'm reading in Obadiah. Because it says, verse 9, Obadiah 1 and 9, and the mighty man, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of Mount Esau, the so-called white man who did this horrific act, who is the sword of the Lord, who was created to destroy, may be cut off by slaughter. Why? For thy violence against thy brother Jacob. This Jake he talking about, he's an Israelite. All right. It says, for the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. How? Obadiah 1 and 15. It says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. That's every nation outside of Israel. As pursuing the Psalm chapter 83, all the Lord's enemies. As thou hast done, as they have done to us, it shall be done unto thee. The Lord, he does not change. Let me get that real quick. Malachi 3 and 6. For I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. The Lord ain't changing. It's spoken. These niggas gonna get it. Leviticus chapter 24. Let me get right to it. In 17. And he that killeth any man shall surely be put to death. All right. So the Lord he does not slack on his word. Obadiah 1 and 15 again. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen that has something to do with us. in our slavery, our captivity, any type of oppression. But the so-called white man, you got something special coming. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. That's right. How? And the house, verse 18, in the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. So these devils are going to pay for this. Every cruel act, even though it's judgment, balance. The Lord is about balance. This man wasn't serving the Lord. This is a potential thing that can happen to you. You so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American men and women. But it still doesn't negate the judgment that's coming to you devils for what you do, for your perpetual hatred. This is Isaiah chapter 14 and 21. It says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. These people will continue to do these things until the Lord comes back and do what? Redeem us, pursuant to Isaiah chapter 63. Right? It says, prepare for slaughter. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with its cities. For I will rise up against them, say the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, and cut off from Babylon the name and the remnant and the son and the nephew, saith the Lord. Who is this talking about? This is talking about your so-called white man, Esau, Edom. And I will make it a possession for bittering and pools of water. And I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. What is that going to mean? That means a nuclear bomb is going to ultimately detonate here and get rid of all the Edomites that are here. So they can have their way right now. It's already prophesied. It's the Lord's way of judging you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. It says, alas, that day is great, so there is none like it. This is coming to America full time, doing what? It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who? The elect. So a lot of you so-called Negro, Latinos, or Native Americans, especially you Jakes that want these devils to make it on the chariot to be delivered, the Lord is going to put the spirit on them to do just what happened to this Jake. Because you're destroyed for the lack of knowledge. You don't have the fear of the Lord in you. This is Isaiah chapter 34 in the NLT. I'm going to get right to it. It says, Isaiah 34 and 5, and when my sword has finished its works in the heavens, it will fall upon Edom, again, the so-called white man, right? The nation I have marked for destruction. And that's going to be right here in America. So this little terrorist act that just happened, it like I say, it looks like it would be a year, maybe 15 months ago. And maybe some brothers have done lessons on it already. But I just got wind of it, so I'm bringing it out again. So the Lord can hear my cry. Pursuing us to Ezekiel chapter 9 and 4. It says, the sword of the Lord is drenched with blood and covered with the fat, with the blood of lambs and the goats, with the fat of rams prepared for sacrifice. Yes, the Lord will offer a sacrifice in the city of Basra. That means you people, including you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, till you repent, because he was a sacrifice. You're going to be a part of the great sacrifice here. He says, yes, the Lord will offer a sacrifice in the city of Basra. He will make a mighty slaughter in Edom. Verse 8, for it is the day of the Lord's revenge. Why? The year when Edom will be paid back for all it did to Israel. Call Haloyim, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachakodash. and death to you goddamn devils. Salakia. I'm getting a little heated here. But may Yahweh Bashim Yahushua bring destruction, judgments, and all types of mayhem and any other evil he gonna bring so this thing can get going. Because this shit right here is going to increase. So Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Rakakadash. Shalom.